ladies, this is Jamie. Thanks for watching. This video is about how to get a man to invest more. Let's say you are dating someone, or maybe you're not exclusively dating, but you've been seeing each other a little bit. Maybe you are exclusively dating. Maybe you are in a committed relationship, but you feel like he's not investing. You're wanting more from him. You're maybe giving more, and he's just showing very little interest. If that is your dilemma, then this video is for you. Now, I'm going to give you a few things that you might be doing to kind of let you know if this is the situation that you're in. And if you find yourself doing these things, I need you to stop. And then I am going to tell you what to do instead to kind of turn this situation around and get him investing more. So if you find yourself hinting at him things like when you're available, you might say, I am going to be busy for the next 2 weeks, but Thursday night I have free. And you're hoping that he's going to say, oh, well then let's do something Thursday night. Or you ask, what's your schedule for this weekend? What do you have going on? Or you tell him, here's my schedule. Here's what I have going on Friday and Saturday. If you're doing that, you need to stop. If you find yourself calling him more, texting him more than he is calling or texting you, again, you need to quit doing that. If he's interested in you, he will call you. He will text you throughout the day. And maybe he just isn't aware that he's not stepping up. So I'm going to tell you how to handle that too. If your texts are longer than his text, if he texts you good morning and you say, good morning, I hope you have a good day. How are you today? I can't wait to see you. If your texts are longer than his, generally look back through your phone and see if you are texting more content than he is. Again, you need to stop. You're investing too much. If you are sending him suggestive text, and what I mean by suggestive text is they're a little sexual in nature. If he texts and says, what are you doing? And you say, I'm laying naked in my tub, or I'm just laying in bed thinking of you. Anything like that, you look desperate. Stop. That might get his attention. He might ask if he can come over. He might then initiate a date, but you don't want to have to go to those measures to get him to ask you out on a date. You don't want to have to go to a physical area for him to show interest in you. High value women would never do that. You want that emotional connection. You want that commitment, in my opinion, and then the physical can come later. If you are sending him suggestive pictures, again, a picture of your thighs while you're in the bathtub or anything else more sexual than that, stop immediately. You may think, oh, there's nothing wrong with it. It's just fun. And hey, if you're in an exclusive, committed relationship and you guys are both investing, I'm not somebody to tell you what to do with your personal time and how to use your phone. But if you feel like you are giving too much, you are giving more, then you need to stop. Now, a man may initiate with you again if you do something like that, but that's not the kind of attention that you want. That's not the interest that you really want. If you bring up other dates, if you bring up guys that you went out with recently, let's say you're not in an exclusive relationship and you say, oh yeah, I had this date last weekend. He was such a jerk. Or, oh, I had a date last weekend. He was a really nice guy. You're wanting to try to get something out of him. You're wanting to get some kind of a reaction to see how he's feeling, to see if he's saying, oh, you're dating other people. You're wanting to have that conversation, but you don't feel comfortable bringing it up. So you kind of hint around about it. If you find yourself getting angry because he is not investing, and so you do this passive aggressive thing and you do the silent treatment and you just kind of act really witchy towards him, and he says something and you'll say, well, I guess you would know the answer to that if I heard from you more, or, well, I guess if we saw each other more, then you would know about that. Don't do any of that. Again, that just makes you look very vindictive. If you do too many things for him, if you are going over to his house, doing his laundry, making him supper, and you are doing for him, you are kind of in essence playing house with him in some regards, but he's not doing those things for you. Is he doing your laundry? Is he mowing your yard? Is he fixing things around the house for you? Whatever he's good at. Is he doing those acts of kindness for you that you're doing for him? If that's off balance, you need to stop. And lastly, if you agree to go over to his house and hook up with him, get physical with him, fool around with him, sleep with him, whatever. If you find yourself doing that in hopes that he will show you more interest, he will show you more affection. Sometimes women feel like if I could just spend more time around him, if I could just show him how great I am, so I'm going to do these things so that he'll start taking an interest in me. Listen, ladies, women often will trade sex for love. They will give a man what he wants physically in hopes that he will love them. And a man will give love in return for sex. And it may not really be love, but he might say, oh yeah, I love you, or well, I wouldn't be around you if I didn't care about you. He'll tell you sweet things. He might buy you flowers, whatever, to get the sex. So understand that there's a difference there. There's an off balance. And if you find yourself doing that and really self-analyze and say, why am I doing this? Why am I doing all of these things for this guy? Is it because I'm a little unsure about the relationship? Am I anxious about it? Do I wonder where it's going? And if you're doing those things with those thoughts in the back of your mind, then you are expressing more interest toward him than he is toward you, and it's time to stop. So now I am going to tell you what to do. Number one, and I've said it over and over again, stop. Stop doing the long texts. Don't send back a text longer to him than he sends to you. So if he texts you good morning, you text him good morning. No emojis, no hearts, nothing. Just good morning. If he texts you and said, how is your day going? Figure out how many words he's using. If he uses 5 words, you use 4. Great, thanks for asking. I know you might think, oh my gosh, that's just so petty. That's playing games. Listen, ladies, it is not playing games. You should not be investing more in a man than he is willing to invest in you. You are practicing self-love. If he wants to look at it at games, so be it. But your job is to protect your heart. He's obviously not looking out for your heart or your best interest, so you have to. So this is a way where you can keep a little bit of contact with him. You don't shut him off completely because you are hoping something's there and you are hoping he will step to the plate. But you're backing off a little bit. You're giving yourself a little bit of space. You're not engaging quite so much. You're not showing quite so much interest. You're just kind of wrapping your arms around your heart, protecting yourself. And if he wants to step up and say, hey, what's wrong? You don't seem like your normal self. Then you can have that conversation. You can say, well, I'm just pulling back a little bit because I feel like I'm investing more than you are. It's time for that conversation. But if you don't feel like you can have that conversation up front, then here's some things that you can do. I suggest no sexual pictures, no hints at when can I see you, no suggestive text with an underlying physical tone to it. Stop all of that immediately. Make him wonder what you're up to. And he's going to wonder because if you've been doing that before, he's thinking you are just ready. You're always there ready for him and he can hit you up whenever he wants. He might be calling you saying, hey, you want to hang out tonight or you want to hang out tomorrow night. He messages you last minute. So another thing I'm going to tell you to do is do not accept a date from this guy unless he gives you 48 hours notice, at least. I honestly would suggest he needs to give you 72 hours notice. And here's why. He's probably waiting around to see what else is going to happen. If his buddies are going to go do something, if some other girl is available, before he hits you up to hang out with you. You are a last minute thought to him. You are a second option. You don't want to be that girl. So you tell him, sorry, I can't hang out with you. I'm busy. I have plans. If you'd like to ask me out on a date, I would love that, but you really need to give me 72 hours at least notice or more. And then what I want you to do is I want you to get busy. Get busy making plans. Get busy living your life without this guy so that when he does call and ask you out, you say, sorry, I'm already busy. Now you may think, well, that's really going to turn him off. That's going to turn him away. No, it won't. Men are very competitive and he wants to win the prize. He likes a little bit of competition. And right now you're too easy. You're too eager. You're showing too much interest. There's no competition there. There's no fun. There's no challenge. And I'm sorry to tell you, ladies, but that's a little bit of what he wants. So you need to be the challenge. Again, not in a way that's playing games, but but in a very high value way. You need to look at yourself and say, you know what, I have a lot to offer, and I'm sitting around waiting for this man to show me some inkling that he cares, and I'm tired of doing that. If he doesn't want to be with me, if he's not excited to see me, if he's not interested in making plans with me, that's fine. I will go find the love of my life. I will go find someone who is. A woman who has that attitude, who comes across with that kind of confidence, but yet kind of a quiet, humble confidence. She's not mad. She likes you, but she's not going to go out of her way for you. If you are that kind of woman and he can see that, that's going to make him more interested. Now, if you are in an exclusive, committed relationship with this guy and you are a boyfriend and girlfriend, then that's where you need to just sit down and say, hey, can we have a little bit of a talk? Don't make it serious, we need to talk kind of tone. You just need to say, hey, I'm a little bit confused because it seems like I'm investing and I'm giving more than you are in this relationship right now. What's going on? Because maybe he loved bomb you in the beginning and now he's kind of backed off from that. And you just need to call it out. Again, high value women call things out. It does not make you look needy. You can say it in a needy way. You can say, you're just not investing in me and I don't know what's wrong. Do you not care anymore? Do you not love me? Is there somebody else? Like, why aren't you showing me attention like you used to? You can do all the whiny stuff you want, and that's going to make you look pretty desperate. But if you just have the talk and say, hey, I just noticed that, or I feel like you are not investing as much as you used to. What's going on? Now he's probably going to make excuses, say, well, I am. I don't know what you're talking about. That's where you can say, well, your texts are very short. I go quite a while without hearing from you. You don't make plans in advance with me anymore. You just take it for granted that I will always be there. I do and do and do these things for you. And I don't feel like you do as much for me, those little acts of kindness. And I kind of feel like the relationship is off balance. I don't like it. Is there something we can do to fix it? I'm not sure that you're intentionally doing it, but that's how it's coming across to me. Can we take care of it? Can we talk about it and fix some things? And then you can kind of lay out a plan and say, hey, here's what I expect. I want to hear from you every morning. I want to touch base once or twice throughout the day, just through text. And I want a phone call every night, just to where you can touch base, maybe a 5-minute phone call, maybe a 30-minute phone call. Not very long. I know we're both busy, but that's what I expect. Maybe you want to lay down some groundwork. So we see each other every weekend. If we're boyfriend and girlfriend, we make sure we set aside some time for us. We have date night. You need to be confident enough and comfortable enough to say what you want in this relationship and say it in a high value way. Now, when I talk about high value, I have a website called She's Everyday, she'severyday.com. I will link it in the description below. On that website, I have 2 e-courses. One is called She Heals and one is called She's the One. She's the One is an e-course that talks about how to be the one he can't live without, how to be the one he regrets losing. She Heals is more about if you've gone through a divorce or breakup, how to not only survive in that situation, but how to thrive. In both of those e-courses, I have a chapter called High Value Women. I have listed 35 traits that make you a high value woman. And in my experience and in dealing with women, coaching them, I have noticed that when women truly start working on themselves, develop these high value traits, they get all the great guys and all their exes come back. So check out one of those e-courses. It's basically just something you download, a mini book, if you will. It guides you through very, very specific things to do and to say and things to work on yourself, some transformation things. It's absolutely packed full. But ladies, I want to see you win in this relationship. I don't want to see you being the one sitting on the sidelines, desperate for this man's attention and you're not getting it. I truly believe that a man should invest more than the woman. You want a man, not a little puppy dog that you have to drag along by a leash. You want a man who's confident, who's intentional, who's purposeful about wanting to be with you. And he makes those steps, he makes those plans, and he goes out of his way, at least to some degree, to let you know that you're special and you're valued. That's what you deserve. Now, if you've tried all this, if you had the conversation with him and you pulled back a little bit, just trying to see if he will invest more, and he still doesn't, maybe you need to consider it's time to leave this guy or give him an ultimatum and say, hey, I don't like the way this is going. I don't like feeling unvalued. So if this isn't something you can do, tell me right now and we'll just part ways. Again, a high value woman knows that she has to save herself first, and she doesn't put herself in a situation to be taken advantage of, at least not for very long. We've all been there where someone has taken advantage of us, and out of grace or kindness to them, we give them a little bit of leeway. But you don't need to stay in that forever. Again, ladies, I want to see you win. Check out my e-course. Check out my website. Hit the like, hit the follow. It really helps the algorithm. God bless you, girls. I will see you in the next video.